gone through separate phases of my life where like I was really sick, and then I was good, and then I was kind of sick again. And I feel like I'm really learning now at this point in my life how to live normally, like a normal person. And it's a little scary, but it's also really fun. I feel like I grew up with the idea that like my future wasn't really gonna be that much of a future, but now I'm kind of realizing that like I have the whole world and I have so much time, and like figuring out what I'm gonna do with it, because I've never really thought of it before, is kind of scary, but it's really exciting at the same time.
So like, when did you get diagnosed with all this?
I was diagnosed at 8 months old, so I've had it my whole life.
And I mean, you were just talking to me and you said, you know, you don't want to say it's normal, but when did you sort of realize what was going on with you?
Well, I never really noticed that I was different until I started acknowledging the people around me and how they were living differently. Maybe when I was like 10 or 11, I kind of was like, okay, like I am different. I did grow up differently. And it was kind of an adjustment once I realized that, kind of figuring it out. It was kind of sad. But then I realized it wasn't really a bad thing growing up differently. It is what it is. I never really knew any different. And I was doing it. I was doing my thing, so.
But you've totally adjusted to yourself now, right? And with a lot of the help with the drugs that you did and everything else, it's really helped you become you.
Exactly. I feel like now that the focus has been taken off of my health, I'm able to really focus on just living my own life, focusing on myself, doing what's best for me. And that's all that really matters, really, in anyone's life. Do what's best for you. That's what you gotta do.
First Trikafta, knowing that their life experience is going to be so much different than Madi's, and the family's experience is going to be different because, you know, CF is a family disease. We've all suffered along with Madi in different ways, including her sisters. So, yeah, no, it's just, you know, and it's just sad that it took so much work, you know, a decade, and nothing's really changed. You know, like despite getting these drugs here, we're still in the same situation or worse due to some of the regulations that we've talked about that have been changed. So, you know, it's like as soon as another drug, because there's still 10% of the CF population that can't take Trikafta. And the situation that we're in doesn't just apply to cystic fibrosis patients, it's all rare disease patients. So to think that there's kids that, should they be across the board in the US, would be living wonderful lives and have access to these amazing drugs, and they're not getting them here in Canada, is just not acceptable. And, you know, until that changes, I don't think I'll be able to step away from this fight, because it's just not right.
I'm always a little bit concerned. Like, I feel like when I get sick, I'm extra, like, paranoid.
Yeah.
But then I kind of have the comfort that, like, I'm on, like, Trikafta now, and, like, hopefully that will never happen again. And I just feel really happy for like all the kids, because my childhood was so traumatic.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy that other kids won't really have to go through the same thing that I did. And that was kind of my whole goal too with fighting for the drugs, was that no one would have to experience the same childhood.